Okay, the job for today is Transaxle. I'd like to get it put in today. So there's a couple things we got to do first. One is got to go out and get some Transaxle oil and fill it, because it's much easier to fill it when it's sitting here on a dolly than when it's in the car. Second is we have this short shifter from only $9.44. This is the part that actually reduces the throw of the shifter and also tightens things up a bit. It goes on, let's see if we can figure this out. Something like that-ish. Yeah, that's probably it. Well, we'll figure it out. Anyway, this part replaces this part and also eliminates all the rubber bushings. And then this part, which is some ball joints and a rod, it's adjustable, is the back and forth movement. And as you can see, there's rubber stuff in here that's 30 plus years old. This eliminates the rubber stuff, so that ought to make it shift much crisper, as well as changing this part, making it shift, reducing the throw of the shifter. And also, after we get the Transaxle in there, I also got their shifter kit, which eliminates any plastic or rubber in the shift lever. Actually has Torrington bearings. These are actually thrust bearings, Torrington thrust bearings in there. So that ought to really crispen the shifts up quite a bit. The other thing we got to do is, since we have our drive shaft banged forward about, I don't know, what was it, 3/8 of an inch, we're going to grind about 3/8 of an inch forward, basically to make this groove, not the whole thing all the way around, but just part of it 3/8 inch further that way. So this is the coupler here. As you can see, it has a bolt hole, and the hole has to line up with that groove, otherwise not doing a good job of showing this on the camera, am I? Can't get the camera quite in there, but basically this slot allows this bolt to go through, and if it's before the slot, it can't. That's what we would end up with where we are now if we don't do any grinding. But if we push it back a little bit, boom, it goes right through and threads in. So I think one of the reasons for doing it on the Transaxle side is you have to put the coupler on before you install the Transaxle. Then once it's installed, you slide it forward over the drive shaft. So this would allow you to just remove a couple of splines of cover over here, and then you just make sure you put the coupler on so that the bolt lines up with the splines that you ground. And if we accomplish all that, we'll start putting it back in the car. Maybe we can get that done today. Okay, so we got the short shift linkage on the Transaxle here. Pretty nice. The only one tricky part about it is these, you have to grab those on both ends to tighten down the fastener. It's 11 millimeters, but luckily this one's fairly skinny. It's not quite skinny enough, but it's fairly skinny. So I was able to get in there on this one On this one was a little trickier, kind of damaged the boot a little bit, but it'll probably be okay. But yeah, probably, I think they sell a skinnier 11mm, but what you could also do is if you have any, junk old tools laying around, you could take one to the grinder to make it skinny. That's what I would do if I didn't get it tightened. So that's that. Okay, on to grinding. Okay, that went pretty well. So now with the coupler in this position, we have about 5/16 of forward movement from where we were. That should be easily enough to cover, getting this bolt into the drive shaft, being that the drive shaft is now pushed forward. That should be good. I just used an air die grinder with a carbide burr on it. And that's what she looks like. Didn't take too much off. Didn't want to go too far around the other splines. Just enough splines to be able to get the bolt through. So now we just have to be sure to put the coupler on in that orientation, so the bolt goes through the part that we ground. Not too big of a deal. And I just used a vice grip on here kind of lightly to keep the shaft from turning while I was grinding it. And now we clean the mess up and trans should be ready to go in the car. Okay, getting ready to put this trans in, and trying to make it as easy on myself as possible. So these are the transaxle mounting bolts that go to the rear bell housing. These are the two through bolts that go through the transmission mount at the top of the transmission area under the gas tank. They go through those two holes. And as I remember, see, this is a later car, so it doesn't have the two big mounts on the side, on either side of the transaxle. It's actually one center one that bolts in here. And as I remember, one of the biggest problems trying to get this thing out was the shift rod being in the way and the cover being in the way of these two bolts going through. Now, I buggered this up a little bit getting it out, but it was mostly this bad before. So someone had taken this out before and really boogered it up and electrical taped it back together and had a beaver or a badger or something chew on this end. So what I did was I bought a new one. There it is. Shift rod purr. So I want to stick the new one in there. I just want to be sure that I have the combination right to get it in there without running into this problem, because wow, that was really a big pain in the butt. So yeah, I read the manual. It doesn't say much about it. It shows pulling it out this way, which it has these big bumps on either end to, so as a stop, get into the right spot. The shift lever travels through both bell housings, this one and the one in the back of the torque tube. So this has to meet up with that. And the shift lever doesn't come out of the car unless you take the torque tube out. So yeah, I think I could probably, no, you can't do that either. Okay, I was thinking maybe stick this in the other bell housing over the shift rod, but you can't get the transaxle far enough back. Like, you can't get the face of the transaxle back to here because the gas tank's in the way. So yeah, we'll have to think of something. Okay, so after some fighting with some stuff like couplers, we did get it in here. And I figured out the way to get this plastic thing in is basically I cut the nub off at this end. So it still has the nub in the drive shaft end over here. That allows you to put it in this way, push it all the way through, and then once you get the trans in there, you push it back out through that way and engage the shift rod and stuff. Then before you push the shift rod through, you flip this up out of the way, this part of the shift rod, and you get the two trans mount bolts through from the other side and get the nuts on there and get them all tightened down. Then worry about getting this stuff all hooked up. And this one, for some reason, I had a fight with the coupler to get it to go onto the drive shaft. So that was interesting. Actually, I had to use a crowbar and a big hammer, but it popped on. Then I didn't have it clocked right so that I could get to the bolt. And the drive shaft doesn't move right now because it's attached to the engine and the clutch isn't blade yet. So, so yeah. But then I ended up having to crank the engine anyway to get the back coupler bolt lined up and in there and tight. But it's all in there. All the wiring's hooked up. The only thing left is got to put the axles on and put the shifter together. The shifter will be a job for tomorrow, since that's in the car. I'll have to get cleaned up to do that. There it is, it's in there. One more thing done. Okay, so I decided to push forward and get the shifter in there. This is another piece from only944.com. And it comes with, like I said before, it comes with Torrington thrust bearings for either side of this for smooth action back and forth. And if you noticed in the beginning of this video, I showed the part that goes on the transaxle, and it actually has a slot in it so you can adjust it. So I set it in the middle thinking I'd be okay. It turned out for this car I had to have it set all the way this way, because when I first connected it I couldn't get it over to 5th gear or reverse. So I had to go back there and get up in there and loosen that little bit. I actually used, this is my box for my new sun visor clips, because I broke the plastic ones. These are made by Renbei. They're aluminum ones, so they should hold up a lot longer. But anyway, I just took the box and jammed it down in here to keep it over this way, and then went back and tightened it up. I was looking at it, it is all the way over this side. So as you can see, it still could come over to the left a little bit, but this will definitely do. I mean, it doesn't quite contact the tunnel over that way. So yeah, but this feels. There's some guys with videos on doing this conversion, and it's pretty much a big difference between a regular 944 and this. So this should be neat. Can't wait to drive it. So tomorrow I'll put the axles on, and then we got two choices. We can either work on rebuilding the front suspension or work on building the exhaust system. I don't know which I'm going to do yet. Probably should do the suspension, because that way I could actually get the brakes bled, get the clutch bled, and then there would be the possibility of putting it down on its feet and actually seeing if it moves after all these months. Because it's been about 10 months now, so yeah, it's about time we got down the road with this thing a little bit. Well, that's it for today.